Well, it's been a while since my last video, and that's because I've been on half-term holiday with the family. Had a great time back and glad to be in the thick of looking at SEO. But actually, the season is turning towards thoughts of Christmas, and so it was a search for luxury chocolates UK that inspired today's video, as you can see from the search on the screen right now. I'm going to go through 3 different chocolate retailing companies in a second, and if you happen to be one of those, then reach out to me at adam@minsterseo.co.uk, and as a thank you for being featured in today's video, I'll do you a free SEO audit. You'll get a 10 to 15 minute video full of detail about how you can improve your site with SEO. Usually I charge £50 for those. If you're a company and would like one of those audits, then just scan this QR code here and it'll take you to the page where you can order one. So let's look at luxury chocolates UK, and you can see that this is a search term that has a volume of about 200 according to Ahrefs and a keyword difficulty of 68, so it's not an easy keyword. And to rank on this page you are taking on the likes of Rococo and Hotel Chocolat, so big competition. And you see they've got, Hotel Chocolat, for example, a DR of 72. Today I'm going to look at 3 retailers. So the first one is this Charbonnel A Walker, and excuse the lack of a French accent. Now these guys have got a DR of 18, a domain ranking of 18, so fairly low, fairly weak domain rating. And they do have a royal warrant, a royal seal. They have been supplying chocolates to the Queen. So I would think that's a really powerful resource for them to lean on to get more backlinks, which would improve their ranking. Now, one thing I thought was interesting to note, everything on here is priced in dollars. Their motto or their saying about their brand is that they are Britain's first luxury chocolate retailer. Well, I'm in Britain and you're selling to me in dollars, so that's a bit of a strange thing to begin with. Although they're on page 1 for this keyword, they're not ranking on page 1 for many keywords, only 30 in fact. And if you look in Ahrefs, 22 of those are brand keywords. So remove the brand and they're only ranking on page 1 for 8 different keywords. And this is a website that could be doing so much better than that, which would of course be bringing them in lots more free organic traffic instead of spending on ads. They're still leading with Halloween. Halloween was getting on for a week ago now, so they're obviously not all over it from a marketing perspective. But it's their Christmas page that I think highlights some of the weaknesses that they could improve on, which would help them ranking. So if I go into the collections and I go by occasion and I go chocolate Christmas gifts, and we've actually ended up on their Christmas chocolates page, and there's plenty of selection there, but as a page it's really quite weak. There's no H1, so there's no primary header saying this is the Christmas chocolate page. The header on the page is actually an image, that's not text, so Google's not reading that at all. There is no other text on the page. There's no content, even a brief description of what this category is for Google to hook into. And then there are things like this. I can sort by this barcode, which is, a little bit careless really. It's actually a Peter Rabbit snowball truffle if I search on it. So in essence, there is a lot that these guys could do. They would not have to work very hard to improve their category descriptions, to build backlinks and increase their authority, and to generally just start ranking for many more keywords than their own brand. And with that, let's turn to my second chocolatier, which is Black Forest Chocolates. Now I've included these guys because these are an enigma just by being on page 1. Because they're doing none of the things that I would be recommending that you do as an absolute bare minimum for SEO. So let me go through the list. They're a DR of 1, so they have no authority at all. They've got barely, in fact they haven't got a single decent backlink to the website. They've got no keyword growth in the last year, so they're not focused on SEO. It doesn't look like they're trying to do it. I'm certain they're not paying an SEO to help them. They've got no blog, and they've only got about 50 pages of content, but alongside those 50 pages of content, they've got 10 broken pages, 10 404 pages. And most pages in the site have no heading, no H1. So there are a lot of things these guys aren't doing right from an SEO perspective, which I suspect means that their grip on page 1 of the SERP, of the search engine's results page, is tenuous to say the least. And I had a look at the history of this search result, and it's very volatile, pages moving up and down, in and out. And a website that's as weak as these guys are from an SEO perspective is at risk of losing that page 1 position literally overnight. What I would love to do with these guys is have a look at their search console, because if they're ranking for this keyword, they're probably ranking for others. It's clear that Google likes them. You know, they're using luxury chocolates, they're using the phrase liberally throughout the site, so Google's not confused about what they are. Search console would reveal just what else Google sees them for, and using that information, I'd be going through the site and making sure they were a heck of a lot stronger and more secure in those ranking positions that they've got, as well as chasing others. So for example, they have a chocolate club. Now if I open that page up, that is a monthly membership site where you get you pay for chocolates to arrive every month. Now there's no ranking at all for this page. They're not ranking for club or membership or any related keywords. And there's very little in the way of information on the page. There's very little in the way of text. This is another page with no H1 on it, so Google doesn't know officially what this page is about. These are all pictures, this 12 months, 6 months membership, so literally all the text on the page is these headings here and a tiny little bit of text. Yeah, that is actual text there. So very little information on the page. And there are no internal links from anywhere else on the site other than the menu to this page, so no in-content links from other well-ranked pages. And I suspect this is quite, or would be quite, a profitable page for this business if they just put a little bit of effort into making it rank. And you know, as an SEO, it makes my heart bleed a little bit, because they wouldn't need to put a lot of effort in to be much more secure on their page 1 ranking, and frankly to grow the number of rankings they have, which, like I say, has effectively flatlined at least over the last year or so. And with that, we'll turn to my last study for the day, which is Artisan du Chocolat. Now, they have recently changed their headline banner to Black Friday or Black Month, which is perfect. They did have a Christmas one on here. They did have a Halloween one on here. So they, you know, they are, from a marketing perspective at least, they are definitely on top of it. They're aware of where they need to be. Like the other two, these, Artisan du Chocolat, probably only have a tenuous grip on page 1. Again, incredibly small amounts of text on the homepage. And I understand that that looks good, but a little bit more verbiage would help Google learn more about your business. And there are ways of installing that on a homepage that don't mean you've got walls and walls of text that are very off-putting for visitors, but you definitely can have the best of both worlds. Now, there are a few issues. I just saw Christmas come through there. So if I go, I say Christmas, they don't really have a Christmas section. They have an advent calendar. There are some issues here. I mean, it took me a while to work out what the advent calendar did. I think it would help tremendously if they just filmed a short video of this product just to help people understand how it worked. But the thing I was frustrated with was when you open up the zoom, this cross to close the zoom doesn't actually work, which is very annoying. And then you click the back button and it takes you to the home page. And I don't want to be on the home page. I want to be on the advent calendar page. I was trying to buy that. So that needs sorting out. But while we're back on the home page, again, this is another one that doesn't have a H1. Well, it does, but it's the logo. And that's no good as an H1. I want your H1 to be the body text telling Google what your brand is or what your brand is about. That's what the H1 should be on the home page. And this is another example that we've seen just on luxury chocolates where that's not happening. Let's look at a category. So I picked salted caramel, so let's go there. Again, a slightly better category page than we have seen, because at least there is some text on here. I mean, it's next to none. It does say salted caramels, but it doesn't say anything else really. But there is a lot of space on the page. It's a very blank page. The filters are a bit redundant. I've got salted caramel truffles here. I click on it and I've got 4 products on the page. I remove it and I've got 4 products on the page. So that's not helping. But what I thought was more interesting, I was looking at these from a picture perspective, and they are all truffles, and the chocolate type filter is salted caramel truffles, but the page is called salted caramels. Now maybe it's an industry thing, but if this were me, these would be salted caramel truffles as the category, and that's the keyword I'd want to rank for. And on the basis these are all salted caramel truffles, that would make sense as the ranking query for this page. You know, that is an easy fix, so something an SEO would get straight on with and would have very quick results over. Other issues with the site, again, it's got a lot of 404 pages, about 30 in total, so that's 30 broken pages on the site, so they all need sorting out fairly rapidly. What it does have going for it is a DR of 42, so it's got some really decent backlinks, so it's got the authority there. It's probably got a tighter grip on page 1 than the Black Forest guys that we just looked at. But I'd be building those links, I'd be building that authority. There's a great opportunity to capitalise on your good name within the industry and build up that authority. And using that authority that you've already got, that DR42, you'll be amazed how quickly making these little changes will have results. One other thing that I wanted to point out before I finish is this Our World is the gateway to About Us. And if I look at About Us, there's some interesting background, but no people on here. I got great press mentions. Be interested to see if these guys are linked to the site. And some stunning views, their shops, and clearly high quality products that I would love to have a go in this shop and get some chocolates for myself and my wife. But no people on here. People stories is great from a collecting backlinks perspective, so I would be advocating that as well. Okay, so that's it for this video. In the next one, I'm going to make this luxury chocolate UK search a 2-parter, because there are a number of sites on page 2 of the Google results that are also just on the cusp of page 1. But I don't want this video to become too long and unwieldy, so I'll call that part 2. In the meantime, if you'd like me to have a look at your website and carry out a 10 to 15 minute video review, just scan the QR code that's here. It will take you to the right page and you'll be able to fill in the form, and I'll turn that around within a few days. But that's it for now. See you in the next one. Take care.